And now I'm going to follow the localizer here. I will use the CWS here. The system is now off. In this situation, just the flight director on the co-pilot side was working. You see here that the pilot thinks he is tracking the localizer. However, he's not. On the passenger side here, now we are descending too much, and I'm going to ask for a gear down. And the speed has been varied quite a bit in this case. He's descending, he thinks the localizer is being tracked, and it's not. He tries to go back here, still flying, thinking that the plane is trying to compensate that and track the localizer. And now the system is flying, I mean, we're way on the right side of the ILS. If I pause the sim here, we see that even though on the captain's HSI there is an indication that we're going left to track the localizer, on the GPS and on the copilot system, on the copilot's HSI, we can see that we are actually tracking away from the localizer. Also, there is a full deflection to the left here, showing that the runway 35 approach path is all the way to my left. This indication here would be enough for us to go around and execute a missed approach. So if we continue here, let's just assume that we are flying, trying to track the localizer. It looks like we're going left to track the localizer here, and now we can see the GPWS is now telling me terrain ahead. In this case here, we saw the runway here way before the pilot on flight 6560. But in the real flight, he was slightly to the right side here, very, very close to this hill here. And there was no enough time for him to go around. By the time he heard the GPWS system, he was still thinking that he was able to, the aircraft was tracking the localizer. However, he had pressed the yoke and the system, the approach VOR lock was deactivated. The HSI on the captain's side was showing that he was trying to get to the right track, but on the copilot side, it was clear that the system was not, the ILS was not aligned, and the GPWS also showed him that he was on the right side of the runway. So, and the speed here, we can see the aircraft is not properly configured for the approach. If we try to go around here, of course, I haven't had time to set my flaps because I'm still talking and explaining and pausing, but in the real flight, the flaps were being set to 30 here, and the speed was varying between the VREF and 20 knots above the VREF, so it was a very unstable approach. So let's just imagine here, you can see that the engines were reduced to idle, and the last GPWS warning was pull up. Let's see if we can go around in these scenarios here. I'm just gonna unpause the sim, and I'm going to apply full power here. and I crashed. Anyways, I hit the ground. There was no enough time for the engines to respond, and therefore I hit the ground here. But as we said before, the real flight was tracking this direction here. And when they saw the hill, they were here, and they saw it very, very close. There's not enough time for them to go around, and they hit the hill.